Hi friends, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if this is your first time here. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and supporting my channel. As you can see from the title, what we are talking about today, I broke my book buying band. And first, I'm just gonna pat myself on the back because I did make it almost 3 full months without buying a new physical book. And then my bestie Jenna came into town and I feel like she made it her personal goal to help me break this bind ban. So that's what we're talking about today. The books that I recently picked up. And I'm just gonna say here, while I did pick these books up, and I do have a Polycon coming up, and I plan to buy books there. After a Polycon, I plan to have my book buying band back on, and we're back to focusing on the books that are on these shelves. That's where my mind is right now, okay? We're just gonna collectively send Ashley good spirits and pray that I don't go overboard. I will say, it's gonna look like a lot of books that I got here. I could have done worse, and I'm very proud of the restraint that I showed in store. So without further ado, we're just gonna get into the books that I acquired. First, we are gonna talk about the books that I was gifted, and starting with 3 books. It is the Flesh and Fire series, the first 3 books of this series. I don't know if there's going to be more than 3, if it's just going to be 4. I know a Fire in the Flesh or Of the Flesh or what have you is going to be the special edition of Polycon book that we get for going or for our tier of ticket. But my friend Kathleen had a dual copy of this set, and she so graciously sent them to me, and I could not be happier. I have read this top one, and I have read all of the books in the main series except the most recent one that came out. But she and I are going to be buddy reading this entire series together. So I'm very happy to have the physical copies of these now, and that makes me very happy to add them to my shelf. And as soon as I get another shelf at some point, as y'all can see, I have books on the floor. It looks like I'm gonna have a JLA shelf. Okay, I apologize if the angle changes in this video. My camera was like, you have no more space left. So the next stack that I'm gonna go over are books that were given to me by my bestie Jenna. The first book is A House of Hollow, and this is one she purchased for me while we were at Barnes when she was here. It is a YA novel. I don't know anything about it, but she said it is one of her favorites and that I should read it, so she bought it for me. And then the other one she brought with her when she came into town, and that is Lore of the Wilds. And can we get into how beautiful this cover is? I mean, sorry, no time to take stickers off, but the cover is gorge, and I'm super excited to read this book. I've been seeing it all over my timeline. I follow this author, so I've been excited about this for quite some time, and she surprised me with this whenever she came into town, so I was very happy about that. Can't wait to read it. The next stack that I'm going to be going through is from a bookstore called McKay's. I was actually really good, and I got rid of like 30 plus books, and McKay's gave me a store credit. So while they were going through my books to see what they wanted to keep and how much they would be able to give me, I took it upon myself to browse the used books and to see if there was anything calling to me that needed to come home with me. The first book that I picked up is Cell by Stephen King. And again, this was at recommendation of Jenna. She said this was the only Stephen King that she like read and flew through in one day, and she absolutely loved it. So I could not beat the price, but I want to read this. Can't wait to see what it's about. Next is a book. This popped up on my Kindle before as a Kindle deal. It's called Dread Nation, and it is a historic science fiction about zombies, and Black girl on the cover, so automatic yes. But also the plot was very intriguing to me, so I was like, let's just take this home. I wanted to buy it on my Kindle once before whenever it popped up as a deal, but I showed restraint. But having the physical copy, I was like, I could not bypass that. It was $5, so why not? Next is a Miss Allie Hazelwood book, Love on the Brain. I do have 2 other books from her that I have not read. And I know the book community is mixed on whether you love her or hate her, but we're gonna find out whether or not I love her one of these days. Maybe I will do an Allie Hazelwood reading vlog. I think that's what I'm gonna do, where I'll read the 3 books that I have, and that'll let me know, is Allie Hazelwood for me, if depending on what I like out of the 3. So we shall see. The next book I picked up was Covet, and I did pick this up because I had the first 2 in the series. This is the 3rd book, and the price tag was cheaper than what it would be if I would have picked it up in store. So I really couldn't bypass the deal. Again, another series that I probably should hop right in, and another video idea of like, read the first 3 books, will I continue, or is it not for me? I'm liking where this is going here. Then the next book I picked up was Tempted, and this is part of the House of Night series. I think there's like 12 books in that series, and I now own 7, including this one. So the book was $2.75. Why not just try to continue my collection of the series? And it is like the same cover scheme, and they're all paperback. And so I really couldn't give this up for $2.75. Why not? And then the last book I grabbed was Dark and Shallow Lies. And again, this was a recommendation from my friend Jenna, as she was with me, and she said she really enjoyed this book and that I should give it a shot, and I shall. So the next 2 stacks that I am going to be going through is brand new books that I bought. And yeah, I do not have any shame. I did try to stick to 2nd in series books as best as I could. And then like books that I was really excited about, so that I made sure to prioritize those. So let's just hop right in, no more preamble. And I'm gonna start with my Target stack. The first book I picked up was Blood Marked, and if you follow me on my Bookstagram, you know when I read Legendborn, I don't want to say I was not a fan, but I just did not understand the hype. I read it in a time when I really didn't think I was ready for it, and I think the medium that I read it on did not work for me. Since then, I have bought the physical copy, and I plan to reread Legendborn before hopping into Blood Marked, and I am very excited for the reread that I plan to do. The next book I got is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue, and I've heard a lot about this author. I do have one of her first series, I believe, on my Kindle that I have not yet got to yet, but it is a high priority series. Mainly just trying to get out of the Polycon time frame before I commit to it. But when I saw this in the wild, I was like, yes, I must own it. And there were only 2 copies left, so I got one, and my bestie Jenna got one as well. And you know, I tried to practice some restraint. Not much, but I did try. And then the last book that I got from Target is The High Mountain Court. And this has been compared to the ACOTAR series, or just books by Sarah J. Maas. And I personally want to read more books like those that are not written by her, just to see if authors do their storytelling a little bit different, and I feel differently about it. And so yeah, I was excited to pick this up. And I had another friend who said that she had this as well and had heard really good things about it, so we shall see. Okay, and then the last stack that I will be going through is my haul from Barnes & Noble, and I'm proud. Now that I look at this stack, I looked at it before talking about it, and I'm proud of my haul and how I went about this. Okay, so the first book I got was The Rebel King by Gina L. Maxwell, and this is book 2 to The Dark King. And again, this is a sequel, so I am ready to hop right into this as soon as I have time. I had my mind set on a April hopeful list, and I don't know if I'm gonna stick to it. That's a story for another time. But this was the first book I got from Barnes, and I was intentionally looking for this book. The next book is another sequel, and that's Queen of Myth and Monsters, and this is book 2 to King of Battle and Blood. We know how much I loved King of Battle and Blood. I think the third book to this series is coming out this summer. I need to look and confirm that for sure. But if so, I would love to have this read before that comes out so that I can grab that other one as well. And I'm very excited. This is another book that I intentionally sought out when we got to Barnes & Noble. The next 2 books are books that I already read on Kindle Unlimited and absolutely love them. I just got my bookish hockey jersey that is in theme of this series, and that is the Pucking Around series. I got Pucking Around and Pucking While. The series is Jacksonville Rays. That's what it is, not the Pucking Around series. The Jacksonville Rays, I absolutely loved both of these books. As soon as I brought these home, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to reread. I wish there was a bind up of the novellas of this series because I would hop on them. I know the author is writing the third book, which is Pucking Sweet. Do not know when it comes out. I think it's this year. I'm not sure, but I want to reread this. I want to tab and just giggle and kick my feet as I go through this series again. The next 2 books I got because it was a goal of mine. If you watched my last hopeful, I think for March, to read these books in tandem, but the person I was buddy reading this with, we decided to put it aside, and that is A Touch of Darkness and a Game of Fate by Scarlett St. Clair. And but I wanted the physical copies because if I'm going to do a tandem read, I like the idea of being able to switch between the 2 books physically and not on my Kindle. It just feels easier in my head to do that. So I did buy these books with the intentions of reading them very, very soon. And yeah, I have nothing more to say. I bought them because I wanted them. And then the last book that I got from Barnes & Noble, I tried to walk out of the store with this book. I picked it up multiple times and put it down. I walked away and came back to it. And my friend was finally like, girl, if you don't just buy that book and go on about your business, you better. And that is Done and Dusted. I've heard so many good things about this. I completely ate up the Chestnut series, Chestnut Springs series. I still need to read the last book in the series, but I had a yeehaw good time. And you know, Beyonce is ushering us all into our cowgirl era, so I'm just gonna stay there because country me been in the cowgirl era. So I cannot wait to read Done and Dusted and see if the hype is there. I think another book in this series is coming out this summer, and yeah, I can't wait to get into this one. Okay, so that was my haul and all the books that I allowed myself to get within the past 2 weeks. Again, I do plan on buying more books when I'm at a Polycon, but hopefully after that I can put the lock and restraints back on my wallet when it comes to buying new books. But yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, leave me a like the little emoji with the cowboy hat for Done and Dusted. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content that I provide here, and I will see you all in the next one.